Hello, my name is Willenzo, and today I'm going to talk about my company, DIL Workshop. HRM role in recruiting and retaining talent. The recruitment process had many parts, but today I will cover three main parts, which are job analysis and job description, recruitment strategy, and selection process. An organization needs to determine how many people it needs to recruit for each position. We must determine the correct and reasonable screening rate. From there, we can narrow down the list of candidates to save time, money for the organization. There are three main parts of recruitment strategy. The first one is identify sources and method of recruitment in order to recruit a sufficient number and quality of worker for the position that are lacking. The organization need to consider and choose which job position should take people from within the organization and which position should take people from outside the organization, and with it, a suitable recruitment method. Internal resources for those who are working in the organization. When we recruit these people to work in higher position than the position they are currently in, this action brings a lot of benefits, such as creating good motivation for employees, everyone who works in the organization, because when they know there will be opportunity for promotion, they will work with a new motivation because they will promote better with work processes. We increase job satisfaction, we increase affection, people loyalty to the organization. Besides, this action also helps the organization save cost and time in training new employees, as well as the long-term commitment of employees. After determining the exact position as well as the number of human resources to recruit, we must determine campus recruiting, such as college and university can be excellent sources of new candidates, usually at entry-level position. Consider technical college that teach cooking, automotive technology, or cosmetology. This can be great sources of people with specialized training in a specific area. Finally, the company recruitment channel. Here are some typical types of recruitment with specific strengths of each type. After we have finished the recruit process, we can begin the selection. Um, there are four types of recruitment channel. The first one is website, internet recruiting, diversity friendly, low cost and quick. The second one is event, assess a specific target market of candidates. The third one is headhunter with high quality people and retention. The last one is agency, is the potential ability to recruit a more diverse workforce and it easily. Um, After we have finished the recruitment process, we begin the selection process. The first aspect of selection is planning the interview process, which include criteria development. Criteria development means determining which sources of information will be used and how these sources will be scored during the interview. The criteria should be related directly to the job analysis and job specification. This is discussed in part recruitment. Some aspect of the job analysis and job specification may be the actual criteria. In addition to this, include things like personality or cultural, which would also be part of criteria development. The process also involve discussing which skills, ability, and personal characteristics are required to be successful at any given job. By developing the criteria before reviewing any resumes, the HR manager or manager can be sure he or she being fair selecting people to interview. This step is intended to establish the relationship between job applicant and employers. And at the same time, this step also determine whether individual have right quality and ability for the job to make decision, decide whether or not to have a relationship with candidate. Once the criteria have been developed, step one, application can be reviewed. People have different methods of going through this process, but there are also computer programs that can search for keywords in summary and narrow down the number of resumes that must be looked at a review. The interview is the most familiar method of selection. The aim is to elicit information about candidate that will enable a prediction to be made about how well they will do the job, and thus lead to a selection decision. An interview involves face-to-face discussion when it is an individual rather than a panel interview. It provides a best opportunity for the establishment of close contact rapport between the interviewer and the candidate, thus easing the acquisition of information about the candidate suitability and how well he or she would fit into the organization. Any number of tests may be administered before a hiring decision is made. These include drug tests, physical tests, personality tests, and cognitive tests. Some organizations also perform reference check, credit report check, and background check. Once the field of candidate has been narrowed down, tests can be administered. The last step in the selection process is to offer a position to be chosen candidate. Development of an offer via email or letters is sometimes a more formal part of this process. Compensation and benefits will be defined in an offer. Next is my company field of business. My company specializes in education. The market label, the target is university student and local teacher with good communication skill, creative and inspiring. And my company hiring process is easy to find out new worker. Long-term employees must choose carefully and test administration must be well trained. And student grade affiliate with university and college, accepting internship and post-graduation student. The manager is the important position, facilitate, sponsor employee to go training to develop. And the final one is interviewing is flexible. And thank you. That's all my presentation.